Welcome to the Fantasy Football Prophet Podcast, hosted by Craig Phillips and Jeff Torrey. Visit us at fantasyfootballprophet.com. And now your hosts, Craig and Jeff.
Welcome everyone to the Fantasy Football Prophet Podcast. I'm Craig Phillips, joined as always by Jeff Torrey. And today, I think we got our top 10 breakout players for 2019. I know we did a list a couple months ago, but free agency's hit now. We got more news. Some situations are a little bit more clear, I guess. Still not completely because of the draft, but we figured we'd go through our top 10 this time. We only did 5. And I don't know. The breakouts is always interesting, Jeff. Like, people have different definitions of what it is. I mean, and we don't really even have any rules for it. It's just kind of people we think will break out to a higher level, basically. Trying not to get too many people that are like, they're going to jump from 10 to 5. 10 to 2. But, that's how I tried it. There's some guys that you might think, they broke out already, but I think they're going to jump. We'll get to them, but they'll jump to like elite level kind of a thing. That's what I'm saying. If they've already been good, they have to become almost elite to make the list.
There's a few. There's 2 to be precise that I actually took off of this list because the perception of them is much higher than they actually have been. So, just to try to keep it in the realm of fair.
So, okay, so we'll just start. We'll go 10 to 1. We'll see. We'll start with your number 10, Jeff. Number 10. It's probably my list is a little wide receiver heavy, but there's more options there. But no, what's your number 10?
My number 10 here, and this one's a little bit of a borderline, but because he's been hurt so much, I put Hunter Henry tight end here. And I kind of rank them as the farther I go up, the more I'm secure in that they will produce. So Hunter Henry, number 10, he actually has ranked number 12 2 years ago and number 10 his rookie season. Basically
because of touchdowns,
exactly.
Nothing else.
Touchdown production is off the charts because he's such a beast. And, with Gates being gone last year, he should have taken up the mantle. And no one ever really did. Virgil Green was there. He didn't really do anything. So I think that now he's healthy. He can step in. That offense is perfect for him. They did lose a few wide receivers, which should clear up some receptions for himself and another wide receiver that I'm sure will come up later. So Hunter Henry, really like the talent there. Number 10 for making a breakout.
He didn't make my list, but yeah, he's definitely one that can. And he's only 24 years old. That's it. Yeah. So when you think about other players, okay, like Antonio Gates actually broke out when he was 24. So if you want to, the guy he's probably, did Antonio Gates retire or is he still going?
I don't know, actually.
There hasn't been an official announcement.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
So way back in 1983, when Antonio Gates was 24 years old, he broke out. So he's been in the league a long time, Jeff. He's been in the league. We were in high school when he entered the league.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah.
It's a long time ago.
One of the greats of all time at the tight end position.
So the Hunter Henry didn't make my list, but yeah, he's definitely a good candidate. He didn't really make my list only because I have 2 other tight ends on my list. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That is the only tight end I have.
See, I have 2 more, so I couldn't put a third.
Gotcha.
So I'll say my number 10 is one that I guarantee you probably didn't even think about and no one else will think about and no one else cares about this guy because he feels like he's a bust, but it's Zay Jones.
Okay. Go ahead and talk about it.
Okay, maybe you do. Okay, so Zay, really, there's a few different reasons. I think Josh Allen is better than we thought. I don't know he's great, but he's better than we thought. So he will have an opportunity because he's not going to be playing with a terrible quarterback or completely terrible quarterback. But it's more of, and shoot, who else do they have to throw the ball to right now? It's him and Robert Foster probably. And really, towards the end of last season, he really started to show something. He did. It's kind of started in week 10 or even a little before that. I mean, he started to get some catches, but week 10, he went 8 for 93 and a touchdown. Pretty decent. Nothing week 11. He just was not there. And then 4 for 67, but 2 touchdowns, a couple down games, 3 for 22 for 1 for 11, but ended it with 5 for 67 and a touchdown, 6 for 93 and 2 touchdowns. I just see he's getting better. That was he was 23 last year. He's just about to turn 24. It's it. He's only 24 years old. He's going to be his 3rd year in the NFL. 3rd year wide receivers like to break out. And I think he's just kind of a forgotten guy at this point. And he's playing with Buffalo, so no one cares, but I think there's something there. I think he has a chance to at least become useful. And right now, If you look at what early ranks, he's down at 70 right now in the early ranks, which he'll probably qualify for our sleeper list next week if we do sleepers next week. But I like him. I like Zay Jones.
Yeah, he kind of made my long list. And the problem with that when I was looking at it is I truly don't know how that's going to shake out. And I think you kind of hit on it is Robert Foster actually was doing pretty well.
He was
with them also. And they're kind of very similar guys. They both run, they're relatively fast, but they're not burners. I think they're both like 6'2". And Zay Jones took a while to come around. I'm not fully in on the quarterback situation, but you're right. He was better.
He's not terrible.
Yeah, he's not terrible.
Completely terrible.
And my fear with this one, and rookies can screw up any of these lists, right? But I don't know why they would do this, but it seems like if DK Metcalf is there when they draft, which you probably will, are they going to kind of say, oh, we need that number one? And then he takes it up, and then I'm not sure what's going to happen. I don't know. Anyway, there was too much to wade through, but I do think that one of those guys will be a breakout player. I just don't know which one, and I didn't feel secure enough to put one of them on there.
So, but yeah, he's number 10, though. He's not way up my list, but I still think it's an interesting one. I think he's definitely undervalued, though, at 70.
Yeah, I like that pick.
So who's your number 9?
Number 9, a guy that came on late. And I believe he will continue to do the job, even though they're a little bit in a shuffle as well. And I'm talking about Dante Pettis. And he is going to be playing for San Fran. He gets Garoppolo back. And really, the question here is, who is going to be the breakout guy, right? Is it going to be Godwin? Is it going to be him? Is it going to be someone else that they pick up? They have a billion running backs in the back. And then Kittle, obviously, will be one of the main guys. But I really like Pettis because of his big playability, and I think that they can utilize that, and I think he's a different type of wide receiver than the other ones there. So I really like Dante Pettis to break out because just what he showed last year with a very subpar quarterback in an offense where he shouldn't have done that well, and he still came out and did well.
I like him too. He's on my list at number 6.
Oh, beautiful.
So same thing. Just he's going to get to play with Jimmy G all year. They're gonna. They have Tevin Coleman now too. They'll have Jerick McKinnon probably out there. I don't know how it's all going to shake out, but they have guys they can use. So the offense is going to be better overall. I mean, Kittle's great. I think Pettis, they need that wide receiver to step in. I think it's Pettis. I don't really think it's Godwin. I think Godwin's gonna be a good big play guy, but I think Pettis is the one that need to get all the catches. So yeah, Pettis is actually my number 6. So he's up there a little bit on my list. But yeah, I think that team overall is gonna be a lot better with just Garoppolo out there. It has to be.
Yeah, and I believe he finished at number 61 as far as wide receivers go last year. So that's a big jump.
I mean, his yards per catch was 17.3 yards per reception. That's pretty good. That's actually pretty high up there. So if he just gets more catches, which
he should. He has that deceptive. I mean, he's fast already, but he's pretty deceptive in that big playability.
All right, so number 9 for me. This is one, again, I don't think anybody else is going to put this guy anywhere near a list like this. I went with one quarterback. Not Baker, because Baker to me broke out, and Baker Mayfield's already he's an elite guy to me. I love Baker Mayfield. It's not Baker.
You would say he already broke out?
I think he did. I didn't put him on my list.
I put him on my list because I wouldn't consider him. He finished at 16th.
He's amazing. So
I don't think. Yeah, all right.
He's above this already. He's above this list to me. No, but I get. But I decided to do another second-year quarterback. So I went with Sam Darnold. Baker's gonna be better than Sam Darnold. Don't get me wrong. But Sam Darnold, he was okay. He played with the Jets. I mean, what can he really do with Isaiah Crowell running the ball? It was terrible. Mm-hmm. No, he has a different running back. I don't know if you've heard this, Jeff. He has a new running back on his team. His name's Le'Veon Bell. So that's his new running back. And honestly, his wide receiver group isn't terrible. I don't think it's terrible. Robbie Anderson, Quincy Enunwa, and Jamison Crowder. It's okay. There's guys to throw the ball. And I actually like Chris Herndon at tight end. This is more of if he's going to be anything, he's going to take a step up this year. And he will be completely way down the list. And I think he's going to break. I think you could definitely see him as a top 15 guy. He become fantasy relevant. For him to break out, he just has to become fantasy relevant, really. And be a guy that you think about using. Right now he's ranked 23rd in the early ranks, only one spot behind Matt Stafford. But that shows that Matt Stafford's fallen.
Yeah.
But I think that Le'Veon Bell, I think if you get what depends on what Bell we get. If this is the guy who was just dominating a couple of years ago, this is going to make that whole offense better. You can just dump the ball, just throw a little pass to Bell, and he's going to be in business.
Yeah,
so
his numbers will definitely get better than what they were.
So Darnold is I wanted to go with another surprise pick there.
Okay. All right, so number 8 for me. And this is a guy that I could almost put on a sleeper list depending on how people look at him. But I really like James Washington to break out of Pittsburgh.
Yep.
So obviously a giant gaping hole is in the Pittsburgh offense, right? You have no Bell. You didn't have him last year. I get that. But no Bell, no Antonio Brown. And Juju slides into the number 1 slot. And obviously he was already very heavily favored. And he got a ton of targets last year. So who is going to catch the rest of it? And I have to believe that it's going somewhere. I still think they're going to throw a lot. James Washington, even though he did not do a whole lot last year, he really was a very highly productive player in the college level. And I know that doesn't always translate. He doesn't look the part always because he's kind of a running back looking guy, like very top heavy, if you will. But I think that he has the skill set to actually do a lot of really good things. And I think that 1 year of him kind of being under Juju and Antonio Brown is going to pay real dividends, because I think that he could have learned an absolute, just, a masterclass of how to really do it. And now the fact that they need him, he should be able to step up and put up good numbers. Maybe he won't jump up to elite status or anything like what Juju did last year at the number 2. But I think he could be a very valuable piece, and I think he's going to be really underrated.
Well, I agree 100%. What I hear when people talk about the Steelers and then who's going to step up now is Vance McDonald. They seem to think Vance McDonald's going to be getting all these extra catches, and they seem to forget about James Washington. Like it's weird. Like, why all of a sudden is the tight end going to replace the wide receivers, production? I don't know. Vance McDonald's fine, but he's getting a little too much love.
Well, if I look at that too, you got rid of Jesse James, right? So if you want to say, Vance McDonald's going to soak up those, receptions as well, that would still make him much more valuable. But I don't think that is going to change out. Another wide receiver has to stand up.
And James Washington is currently 54th. So some people, he's as high as 29th on some people. There's some people out there that are like him. Then he's as low as 69th. So there's some people that just forget about him. But yeah, I like James Washington. I don't know what he is yet, but this is good. He's good for this list because we think that he has the potential to break out, and that's a good player for that. So my number 8. So let's see here. Here he goes. Christian Kirk. I put Christian Kirk because I just think he has talent, and this is me thinking I think they're gonna get Kyler Murray, and I just think that offense as a whole is just gonna be. I don't know what it is. It's probably not gonna happen. Probably just getting blinded by this. They're gonna get the flashy young quarterback who everyone thinks is, just no one really knows what he is, but it's going to be exciting. You get the young coach who really didn't do it in college, but for some reason we all think he's going to be an offensive genius. We just think that's going to happen. So we think David Johnson's going to step up. Fitzgerald's not going to do as much, probably. Christian Kirk has to, right?
Yeah. I totally understand where you're going with this. I wanted to put him on here, but I stayed away because of the quarterback situation until we know more. I
think it's gonna be Murray, and I'm buying into Murray.
I'm more worried that they don't get Murray and they stick with Rosen.
No, then okay. This is me thinking they're getting Murray with Rosen. I don't feel excited about Rosen. Just not much there. But again, this is just a young receiver. I think young receivers have a chance to do something. Which I could have put a million guys here, and I decided to only go with. I went with Kirk. I could have gone with DJ Moore, and I'm more. I'm almost more concerned with them because I don't know if Cam Newton's going to be healthy. There's some concern there.
And you never. Obviously, I didn't put DJ Moore in my list either. But also, I have no idea ever what to expect from wide receivers in that offense.
No. And I also thought of Anthony Miller, another second-year receiver who showed flashes, but I just don't quite know yet.
He's actually another one that didn't make my list, but I really like him. Yep. But that offense is turning into quite potent, so I wasn't sure how many touches he would get.
Not sure either, so I didn't want to throw him on there yet. But all right, so number 7.
Number 7, going to who I thought was the most talented wide receiver coming into the draft class last year. I think Courtland Sutton is in line for a breakout performance, a breakout year. Obviously, Demaryius Thomas was traded away. He was the number 2 after that, behind Emmanuel Sanders. They did, I don't know if this is technically an upgrade, but you do have Flacco now. And hey, man, if they decide to go and there's like little rumblings that maybe they'll take a quarterback, I don't think any of that hurts his chances. And he's also a big receiver that can really go up and get the ball. And I think we saw flashes of it last year. And I think he is ready to kind of be the man in that offense. So, yeah, I like Courtland Sutton. He just looks the part. It's just whether or not he's ready to step up this year or the next year, really.
Do you have any concerns about Joe Flacco?
No more than I did the year before.
I think he gets a lot of crap. I don't think he's good, really. And he's just not. He's not like amazing, but I think he gets a little bit. He's treated a little harshly.
Yeah,
I feel like.
I don't think he's an elite quarterback, but he does have a big arm and he can get you the ball.
Yep.
And I think Courtland Sutton is a good enough wide receiver where he can find him. I mean, we've seen him be productive with other big wide receivers, right? I mean, back in the day when he had Bolden, and that's a long time ago. But at the same time, he was even okay. I mean, he almost made like Willie Snead and the guys last year somewhat productive. Like they were capable of being a weak starter at a time, perhaps a streamer. So I think Courtland Sutton is going to be the best wide receiver he's had in a few years. So,
and Sutton's my number 7 too.
Ah, cool.
So he was my number. I
got worried when you started naming off all these other ones. I was like,
no Demaryius Thomas obviously, and Sanders is he's not much.
He's trending in the wrong direction because of injuries.
Sutton. This is why they got Sutton, right? This is why they got him to be coming. I just worry sometimes. I have a couple so he's my second year guy, and it's I only have the 2 second year receivers. Usually they don't break out till maybe the 3rd year, but I think he has the opportunity there. So we'll go with Sutton. So number 6, who do you got?
Number 6, I have Damian Williams. So running back for KC, I know that that's kind of up for grabs. You're not sure what is going to happen. I think he's going to get the first shot at it. I think in that offense, he is not going to fail. He showed how good he can be last year. I think whoever starts there, even if they have to split time a little bit, say him and Ware, he is going to be incredibly productive. And I have to believe that this guy is going to be very, very solid. And for whatever reason, I feel like people are sleeping on him a little bit. And he really only did it at the very end of the season in the playoffs for the most part. So depending on how you look at it, I know people it's fresh in their minds, so someone might actually say he broke out already, but I don't believe so. And he's been in the league for, many years already. I mean, he started off with Miami, right? So he finally got the opportunity. I think he's finally ready to play that part.
And so he didn't make my list. He was like number 1 on my list last time we did this. I really don't know why.
Did you consider Marty breaking out or something?
No, it's more of I don't know what they want to do with Carlos Hyde. I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what that means.
I think that's also why I put him at 6 and not higher because I do have that little hesitation, but I think he will be I think he will get the ball, but you're right. I mean, Hyde might get every goal line stand. Who knows? Maybe he's a banger. Maybe he's the real deal. I don't know. Yeah. I do know this. I believe in Damian Williams far more than I believe in Ware, and I still think Damian Williams is younger and already a fit with that offense. So I think he has the first shot at being the guy.
I think he probably does. I think he does. So maybe I don't know. I'm more hesitant than I was before, but I still think he's good value. He's at 22 right now, ranked. So if he stays lower like that, that's a good player to take a chance on. So I already named my number 6 was Pettis. So I'll go to my number 5. This is where I start. This is my first tight end on the list. And this one, David Njoku. I'm all in on the Browns. I'm all in on.
I get that, but aren't you worried about so many mouths to feed?
And they're going to score 100 points a game. It's going to be crazy. No. So yes, there is some slight concern there. But I really think touchdown-wise, it's going to be Beckham's going to get his. I think next up is Njoku. Landry's not a touchdown scorer. He might get more catches. I think Njoku's touchdowns are going to increase. He's, 23 years old? This guy's really young.
He's a freak.
I think I believe it's going to happen with him, and he's going to be on a lot of my teams. I think he's going to become a top 5 tight end. Now that, really, without Gronk, now they're really tight ends. You need more guys to step up here. So it really, I think he's going to be up there. I think he's going to be one of them. So he's currently ranked 8th in early ranks. He'll probably be higher in mine even. But David Njoku's my first tight end on the list.
All right.
So you're at number 5.
Number 5, I'm going running back here, and I'm going Kerryon Johnson. And I don't know if he made your list. I know he did before, but
he didn't this time.
Okay.
Again, running backs, I didn't know what to do with.
Yeah, and I really like Kerryon for he showed what he can do in his rookie season. I think that Matt Patricia offense is going to be better this time around. They did struggle in bits, but he was actually a bright spot. They don't have Blount anymore. I think that they will feature him. Whether or not they get another running back, which seems to be the trend, obviously, in the NFL at the moment, I don't think that will hurt him all that much. And really, he did well, but he still got hurt. He doesn't show up anywhere. I think he was, where did he end up? He ended up number 33, so he was kind of on the cusp of actually doing something. He's just a guy in a very good situation that has the talent to be not only a good running back, but good at receiving the ball as well, which that offense does need because they're switching it up, obviously.
I really like Kerryon, but I don't know why I took him off this list this time around. I don't know, just something about it. Maybe it's the Lions fan in me. I just can't believe it. And I'll tell you, I got rid of another Lions player that was on my early list, so.
No way.
I did.
All right.
Kenny Galladay. And I'll talk. Is he going to make your list? Oh, yeah. So I'll talk about him when we get there. So I'll say why he's not on my list anymore. It's not like I'm not. We'll talk about it. It's not that time yet. All right. So that was your number 5. My number 4, my second tight end, OJ Howard. We've talked about him a million times on this thing. I think Bruce Arians is really going to do wonders for that whole offense. I think Jameis is going to be. Jameis could have made this list and be a guy who's going to break out to me because I actually like this team. In thinking that I think Arians is going to turn it around for them. They have all this talent, so I think OJ Howard is going to. He's going to be to me a top. He's a top 5 tight end guaranteed this year for me at the end of the year. There's Kelsey, there's Ertz, there's Kittle. OJ Howard might be my number 4. Maybe I won't 100% rank him that way, but I think, maybe I will. I think OJ Howard's my number 4 tight end. He's one of the guys that's going to be up there. So OJ Howard is my number 4 tight end and my number 4 breakout player.
All right, I feel you. I love OJ Howard. He was one of those that I wasn't sure what I considered him, so I kind of just pushed him to the side because I really liked him last year and he did really well. Number 4 for me is actually following that trend because he is also on Tampa Bay, and I'm going with Chris Godwin. And once again, people leaving. Hopefully that quarterback situation is in a better state this year. Hopefully Winston gets his stuff together. But Godwin has always looked really good when they featured him. And you have Evans on the other side, so they're going to have to double him. And they no longer have Deshaun Jackson, and they no longer have Adam Humphries. So it's going to be OJ, Godwin, and Evans. And they don't really have a running game still. So I think that there's going to be plenty to go around. I really like Godwin to step up and do big things. He looked really, really good last year, even though there's more mouths to feed. And it was, just bipolar with Fitzgerald and Winston going back and forth.
He's next on my list at number 3. And I'm buying into the Buccaneers offense. I just am with Godwin, Mike Evans, Godwin, OJ Howard. I think Jameis is going to be much better. I think Bruce Arians is a good offensive coach. I think they're going to figure it out. And then Chris Godwin's number 3. I think it's going to be a really good season for him. He could take away from Evans a bit even. He really could. I think he's that good. I really think he's that good. He's young yet. He's only 23 years old. He shows that improvement from year 1 to year 2. It's a lot of improvement. And we saw it at the end of year 1. He was looking really good. We talked about him last offseason. And I think he lived up to what we were talking last year. And I think it's going to get even better. I'm really high on Godwin. It's going to be a good season for him. So he's my number 3. So we're at your number 3.
My number 3 is, well, you'll be able to talk about him too, because this is where Kenny Galladay comes in.
Yeah, Kenny Galladay.
And I'll let you smash this one to bits. But
no, I don't hate Kenny Galladay. I love Kenny Galladay.
Okay. And he, he probably would have been a little higher on my list if I knew exactly what the Lions were doing on offense.
Yeah.
But I do think that they'll get it back together. I think Galladay is too good of a talent not to, and the fact that they got rid of Tate, he's going to be the number 1 wide receiver. I mean, he goes from number 3 to number 1 real quick. I think that they will have a running game. I think he is going to be the guy in the end zone, because right now they don't really have a red zone tight end either, at least not a proven one. So I think he just has all of the ability in the world. And Stafford, he's going to be the big one. If you can get him back on track, this guy will be very, very good.
Stafford worries me. I don't know what last year was.
I don't either. That's why I'm kind of chalking up to first year in a new offense.
I don't know. So this is what made me pause with Galladay now. It's not like I don't think he's still going to be up there for me ranks, maybe 15th or something. But he finished 21st last year. I don't know if he's going to break out much more from that. I used to think this is a top 10 guy no matter what. I don't feel that way right now. And that's why I'm like, I'm just going to leave him off this list. And Chris Godwin has become my new favorite. Not my favorite. There's actually probably one. I have one more receiver ahead of this. So what am I saying?
Probably the same as mine.
So, but that's the only reason he fell off my list. It's just both Lions did. I'm just going to hesitate. Don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong.
He was already good. I just don't know if he's going to make that jump now. I think he's still going to be good. I just don't know if he's going to make the jump I thought he was going to make. Yeah. And that's because of that I took him off the list. So that's the only reason. That's it.
Yep, I totally get that.
Still think he's going to be good. So I'll go with my number 2. It's going to be Mike Williams. And I figure that's probably the guy you have as well.
Yep, he's my number 1.
And I don't know who our other one is. That's weird. I don't know who this number 2, your 2 is going to be. Maybe it's somebody I forgot. But Mike Williams, I think this guy's all the talent in the world. That's pretty much it. And he showed at the end of the year, there's a couple of games where he just looked great. And this happens all the time, I think. It's these third year. I love to talk about the third year breakout. So many wide receivers break out in year 3. Just players in general just get better. Running backs seem to be good early, a lot of them. But wide receivers, tight ends, they start to get better and better year 2, 3, 4. Mike Williams, I think, is going to have just a big season. I think he showed, 11? Was it, how many touchdowns? 10 touchdowns? How many did he have last year? 10 touchdowns last year, right? And also ran for one. So 11 touchdowns. That was huge. And he only had 66 targets and got 10 touchdowns out of those 66 targets. If he gets the targets, and it's all over, he's gonna be good. So Mike Williams is my number 2.
Yeah, he's my number 1. And even more so, I feel like that, they know what they have. And that's why they drafted him there. They waited the year when he was kind of banged up. And also they let Tyrell Williams go. He was a guy that definitely was above him on the depth chart, which they saw that he shouldn't have been. So they let him walk. And that offense is so multifaceted that you can't lock him down either. You have Keenan Allen still. You'll have Hunter Henry. You have a really good running game with Gordon. So him as the number 2 wide receiver, but it's kind of weird because he's more of the deep or red zone threat. Mm-hmm. So he doesn't need 100, catches like Keenan Allen will in order to really be dangerous. And that's true. What I really love about the guy.
And I think he's going to have a big season. I really do. So he made it up there for both of us. So now I'm curious, who is your number 2?
Well, number 2, it was Baker.
Baker. Okay. Forgot about Baker.
So whether or not you think he broke out, I mean, he finished 16th in the
so I guess he should qualify for me because I think he's going to finish 3rd.
Right. He is going to be insanely high, I think. I think he might be one of the large, see, as far as quarterback, he's going to be
I think Baker Mayfield broke out in the offseason.
Right. Well, that's why, right?
No, that's what it feels like, right? Yeah. When you think about it, maybe that's why it feels like that way. It's like this offseason, he kind of broke out already. He's up to. Remember when I made my quarterback ranks? We talked about him. I had him number 10. And we're like, well, I thought I was being like, I'm gonna put Baker number 10. I really like the guy, but let's put him way up the list and just get people talking. He's now 9th on Fantasy Pros.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing not to like about the guy. He started off and he was fine. He was a rookie quarterback that looked like he was going to keep, impressing. At the last half of the year, not quite half, probably say last quarter, he was the number 10th quarterback. So last third of the year, say, or whatever. He was the 10th quarterback. So you're kind of like, okay, so for that stretch of games, he did well. He could have had one, he could have had a few, whatever. You take that, and he continues to get better. He has a whole offseason. He's already played with Landry, Callaway, Njoku, and now the running game, you have Chubb and Hunt, so you can't just, you can rely on them as well to eat up some yards. And then, obviously, you add the huge offseason addition of Odell Beckham Jr.
Yep.
What I love about that is that guy gives you another target. So I think he already threw, 32 touchdowns last year? Something like that,
yeah.
You give him a guy that will let you explode for 40. I mean, you are putting him in the best position I've ever seen of a young quarterback. So really, I mean, the question is, what do you do with do they go all defense? Are they going to, beef up that line? If they somehow make that line even better, because I think it was improving slightly, and I think it's good enough. But if they improve that and get depth, there is not a whole lot that can derail this guy besides himself.
Oh, he's going to be great. He's going to be so good.
And you look at the numbers he put up last year. He is so close. I mean, he was so close to being – it doesn't take a whole lot to go from that 16 spot to the 12 to being, a streamer to being, like you said.
I might keep him in our league, Jeff. That's not a joke.
And when you say you rank him number 3, do you think that there is a legitimate chance that he might end number 3?
There is. I think there is a realistic chance, because to me, Pat Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers, I think, are both going to be up there. But Aaron Rodgers isn't a sure thing ever lately. He has some down years. I still think he's up there. But after that, there's a lot of guys who are good, but you get Deshaun Watson's good, but Deshaun Watson has bad games, and he might not always be up. He's going to be top 10, but maybe not up there. Baker could be better than that. Matt Ryan, we've seen it before, up and down year to year. Russell Wilson, you never know. There's all kinds of guys like that.
There's only
Baker can easily jump there.
And I don't think there is anyone besides Mahomes that is in a better offensive system, and even him, he's just a better quarterback, right? I mean, he's off the charts last year, but even him, he loses Hunt, he might lose Hill.
Who knows what's going on there? Yeah,
Watkins is very injury prone. Like the wheels could come off. He'll have Kelsey or whatever, but that's huge. But I mean, Baker might have the best setup of any quarterback.
He really might.
He might come in number 4 in my mind, just thinking I don't think I would ever put him above Rodgers. Mahomes will be number 1. And I really like Luck, the way that offense is, even if, he has T.Y. and he could use a little help, but he's still just phenomenal.
Yep.
After that, I mean, who's in a better situation? Who would you put above him? Would you put Ryan?
No, not anymore. I want Baker.
Would you put Russell Wilson?
See, the thing is, I feel like I haven't done my new quarterback ranks yet. But I feel like I'm crazy because I really think he's going to be up there, because I want him over Russell Wilson. I want him over Matt Ryan. I want him over Cam Newton.
I do too.
I want him over those guys.
I worry that
I feel like I'm being a little crazy. I just do.
I'm becoming a cheerleader a little bit.
I know but I really want him as my quarterback over those players, and I feel like I have to rank it as such.
And that is the craziest part. I don't think it is crazy to say that he would have a legitimate chance or has a legitimate ability to, or should be ranked number 4 going into the season, because he did prove that in the last, part of the season he was going to be number 10, right? And he looked good. It wasn't fluky, wins. It wasn't fluky touchdowns that got him up there. It wasn't rushing where it would be like, oh, Josh Allen was up there. He was, but he also ran his, ran all over the place, which I don't think can continue. Baker Mayfield did it the right way in ways that he can continue to do it, and now he has an even better team, even more weapons.
He's good. See, okay, number 4, Mahomes, Rodgers, Luck, Baker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
right.
And that's why I put him as a breakout, because I think that is a huge jump, especially for a quarterback.
I think it feels a little crazy, but maybe it's not.
Yeah, I have a feeling we get a little bit of hate for that one, but I tell you, man, I didn't expect myself to like any second-year quarterback. Even last year, I was kind of like, I think all these guys are getting overhyped a little bit. Baker Mayfield, I think he's the real deal.
I really do. I think so too. So, yeah. All right, I guess there's one. We should end it with Baker. It looks like, but he's actually your number 2.
Yeah, my
your number 1 was Mike Williams, though.
Mike Williams.
But okay, my number 1, who it didn't make your list, but partially could be because you could be like, oh, this guy already broke out. I feel like this could be one of those kind of guys, and it's Aaron Jones. So I don't even know what you would think about Aaron Jones. Has he broke out in your mind?
No.
Good. I think he's going to be top 8 running back this year. Top 8. I'm going now. Top 8. I'm on the Aaron Jones bandwagon. So he never's gotten the opportunity. Only 133 carries last year. That's it. 133. He turned that into 728 yards and 8 touchdowns. 5.5 yards per carry. His rookie year, when he had 81 carries, 5.5 yards per carry. And he had 4 touchdowns off those. So in his 2 seasons, think about this, 2 seasons, 214 carries, which is on the low end of maybe a starting running back for 1 season. So 214 carries, 1176 yards, 12 touchdowns. That catches 35 for 228. This is the year, I think, with Matt LaFleur as the coach now. So Matt LaFleur was the offensive coordinator in 2017 for Todd Gurley, when Gurley all of a sudden just broke out and became, what Todd Gurley was. And then even, I guess he can, he's going to get credit for this because it helps my point. He was the offensive coordinator for, I think, Tennessee last year, when all of a sudden at the end of the year, Derrick Henry became like a beast at the end of the season. Matt LaFleur was the offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I know. He gets credit for it.
Yeah, all right.
If you give Aaron Jones 200 carries, this guy's going to be way up there. And so he finished last year 23rd. He's top 10 for me. He's going to be a top 10 guy.
Did he really finish 23rd? Oh.
Yep.
Yeah. It was kind of one of those in-between guys for me. I like Aaron Jones.
You pick carry on, probably. Right. It's like you get the one. So right now, he's going to be my number 8 running back. He's my number 8 running back now. It's Saquon, Gurley, Zeke, McCaffrey, Kamara, Gordon, Bell, Jones.
No, really?
Yeah, that's my list.
That's pretty ballsy. I'm not gonna lie, because this year you can go 12 deep pretty easily with running back, and I'm very surprised that he's in the top 10.
I think you can go more than that.
Yeah, I feel good about quite a few running backs.
He's number 8 for me
compared to last one.
I'm going crazy.
All right, I didn't think that one was gonna happen. All right.
Yeah, so he's up there. So it's March.
Yeah, it's super early. So I feel no.
But all right, that's it. That's it for breakup players. Had good variety of players on that list, I think. So we'll be back next week. Maybe we'll go a little deeper on the list, talk about some sleepers, some early sleeper candidates that are way down there. Like I talked about Zay Jones earlier, number 70. He could make that list again, but we're going to go, talk about some guys way down the list and see what we think. But we'll be back next week.